Hi there, this is Clovis from Kinematic Lab. I'm going to show you how to use the stripes tool. So I start the pie menu and choose stripes. Now you see a circle, okay, and this is the size of your brush, and you can change this radius with Shift and Control key and left click and drag like that, okay. Now if I left click and drag freely on my geometry, it creates the stripe. So you see a stripe mesh, and you also see a Bezier line with some Bezier knots, okay, these red knots. And you can move them, so if you move the mouse over a knot, you see the circle is changing, and you can move these knots. Of course, you can have multiple knots in the same brush, okay. So you can move these knots, and you have shortcuts to change the number of subdivision of your stripe, okay. That's Control Alt, and with just Control key you can change the number of Bezier knots, okay. You see that it's changing dynamically, okay, depends on the level of detail you need on your curve. Okay, with Alt you can change the taper of your line, okay. If you right click, you validate this first stripe, and you can create another stripe, etc. Now something else is, if I press Shift, you see that some edges are highlighted, so these are the border edges, and it means that you can start another stripe from this edge. So you see that I can drag and drop a new stripe and snap it into another edge, and you can even move, okay, the start and end point like that, and it snaps on the closest edge if I am over a face. And it works also with the other one. And you can still move these knots, add more Bezier knots or less. Okay, change the number of subdivision, etc. Something else which is important is that the definition you define with these shortcuts, the number of subdivisions and the number of knots, is going to be used when you create another stripe. Okay, so you're going to have the same kind of definition. Right. Now you can also select faces as if they were a custom stripe. So you can use Shift and Alt key to do that. Okay, and it selects the stripe, and you can move it around. Okay, you can move the Bezier knots, change the number of knots, and move it around. Okay, the only thing you can't do in this mode is change the number of divisions, but there are other ways to do that. What is great is that if the end is snapped onto faces, you can also unsnap it and move it around, etc. And that's it. See you in the next video.